All right, yo, what's up, everyone? You're tuning in to Layno Pod, the LaynoProd podcast. This is episode 8, featuring my friend Paolo. He goes by
Yo,
Portra Paolo on
what's
Instagram.
good? Paulo Panilio, surname,
Paolo
government name,
Familio.
you know,
There you go.
no one could
And
pronounce the last name, so it's fine.
it's all good, man. That's like what a lot of Filipino and Asian names. Actually, no,
No,
some
yeah,
Filipino names are like Spanish, so it's like super easy.
yeah. But like, yours is Leno, right?
Oh yeah, dude. It's kind of not a common Filipino last name. When I
I haven't
last time I
heard it a
checked.
lot either. I haven't
Yeah.
heard a lot. Panilio, like, apparently it's a little bit more common in the Philippines.
Really?
I don't really know. I mean, when I go there, people are like Panilio. Wow, I'm like, okay, I guess. Doesn't mean shit in America, right? Like Pelo, Penlalia,
Right,
They can't even say my first name,
right.
Pablo.
Really?
Like
How did
shit.
they read
Like
Paulo? Like, is
I
it
went
because there's
to
a
I went
O and not a U,
I,
or?
I don't know, man. Like I went to school like in the valley, so like
Right.
obviously a lot of Hispanic people, but they're used to Pablo. I don't know. Maybe they just read it fast. So I accepted Pablo for a bit, but then like I grew up and I'm like, fuck it, my name is Paulo, man. Like I'm gonna name my kid after me and shit. I don't know. I don't know. My goal is to get like the Instagram handle Paulo, just Paulo. That'd be sick. But
Oh,
I
that's
don't know.
tight.
That
And then a
shit's
verified
impossible.
check mark.
Exactly. I don't know. It's too hard though. Expensive, and no one wants to sell their shit anymore.
Dude, there's this Filipino dude. I don't even listen to him. He's like an artist in the Philippines. His Instagram handle is James, like just straight up James.
Damn,
I think
James.
no wait, am I right with that? I don't even know. I'm like, I don't even remember. But where are your parents from, Philippines wise? Are both of them they're
Um,
both Filipino, right?
yeah,
Or okay,
full
okay,
Filipino. My mom. I'm not too sure where my mom is from. I always forget.
right,
But my dad's from Manila,
right.
so
Do you know what part or?
ah, I don't know, like Metro Manila. I've only been to the Philippines once. I need to go again. I would like to like live there for a year for sure. Just shoot
Oh, dude,
and just stay there. I'd definitely be down for that. I don't even care. You know how it is. Stay home, motherland. Fuck it.
dude. I got into film too late, man. Like, I wish I would have
No, so did
gotten
I
into
think I
it
got in. Yeah.
when I
I
was
we're
like in Philippines. I was in Philippines for my church community back where I met Nathan. Right, we had a mission trip. We went there in 2012, 2013, 2014. I went there 3 summers in a row, and then like I was just taking pictures on like my was it iPod Touch. I wasn't even like
mm,
I was always into visual arts, but I didn't have like a camera. But
right.
man, dude, like there's so many good stuff to shoot because I love like the city, I love the urban
Hmm.
areas. I mean, more
Yeah.
people are into the country stuff, but
No,
I
I'm
wasn't
definitely the
able to
same.
I wasn't able to see a lot of the country when I was there. I was mainly in
Mm,
Manila, Metro Manila. Yeah.
yeah. I think I was like a little bit in and out, like in the Philippines. I think I went to a little bit of the province, a little bit of the city. But I got fucking sick as fuck. Like I probably got some type of coronavirus. You know how it gets? It's like fucking
Yeah,
mad humid and it rains. Like we're not
dude.
used to that shit. That's like Florida, top tropical weather.
Yeah, I don't like. That's the one thing I don't like about I love the Philippines because I think the people there are the best, bro. Like as sus
Right, yeah.
as it can be, because any like second world country, that's how it's gonna be, especially if you're from outside. But like the hospitality, like the humility I experienced there, man, it's amazing. The food's cheap and it tastes amazing.
Definitely, yeah.
But I didn't like the weather and I didn't like the traffic, man. I couldn't stand those two things.
Traffic, yeah, man. You had to you're stuck in there for an hour. You're like, yo, the guy with the Ziploc bag with the straw of Coke,
Yeah,
like let me get
yeah,
one. Fuck
yeah.
it. Because they recycled the cans, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So they could save it. Yeah, exactly. That's a fucking smart ass move. And I feel like if you go to the Philippines, like one of the only Asian countries you could like still speak English and they might understand you, you know? Like
Yeah.
I think they're very far along into English, right? I don't know.
There's a few. There's that. There's I think Singapore,
Right.
um, Malaysia too. I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's Vietnam maybe. I don't even know. Like there's a good amount of like at least Southeast Asian countries where you can still
Yeah.
like speak English fluently. But yeah, what was I gonna say? I got into film like, or when did I wanted to ask how did you get into film, right? Because okay, if you guys don't
Okay.
know, I met Paolo. It was crazy. Like, I came back from the Bay, right? I'm back in LA, and I was doing a photo shoot with my homies for the album that we were gonna put out, right? And then I wanted to get the film developed in like I was just googling it, right, like Yelp, and then just searching for different photo labs, and then I was just seeing what was open the latest and what was cheap, um, or like available at the time, and you guys came up because we were gonna go to a photo lab on Ventura, but further down, like almost like near North Hollywood.
Right,
And
I think I
I,
know which one.
yeah, and then we passed by. I forgot the name, but then I passed by your guys' place, and I saw the name, and I was like, let me check that out. Let me see if they got the stuff I need. And then I walked in, right, one time with Nathan, right, and then you recognized him, and what was it through elementary or middle school,
No,
like,
yeah, I was already following Nathan on Instagram. Like we somehow reconnected. I think through mutual friends, maybe like our friend Tara. I
right?
just found him on Instagram. I guess maybe he followed me. I don't remember how it worked, but yeah, I mean, I know how he looks, but like I didn't realize how fucking tall he was. But I
He
knew it
was
was
way
him.
shorter
But
before, and then puberty hit, and
definitely, bro.
growth spurt,
Like
yeah.
man's grew like fucking. He's taller than me now. Like if he knew us back then, I was like the tallest in the class, like one of the tallest, and now he's taller than me, so it's crazy. I mean, that's dope. So yeah, I definitely recognized him when he walked in, and then I kind of recognized you because like I mean I was just like on Instagram and I definitely saw some of your work, so I just knew it was you. I'm like, oh, this is the Layno guy, you know. Finally, nice to meet him, and it was from then on. We've been talking and we've been trying to work, but this whole pandemic shit is like just hit everybody in the wrong way creatively.
Yeah,
I
cause
mean,
like when I like moved back here, I mean I got for people that don't know, I got into film just last September or late August, like super
were you
early. I'm
shooting
not
like any digital before that?
no, so I never even
Okay.
shot. Well, I've like dabbled and played around a little bit with my friends' DSLRs, but like actually shooting. The first one was just like a point and shoot. Cause in college at USC, shout out to my homie Peter Lillian. You guys can find him on Instagram at PT Lil. Like that guy's dope, man. He's the guy that really got me into film photography. Cause he's my friend since like orientation, and we've been shooting. He's been doing my album covers for a long time. We do photo shoots, and I always liked the film aesthetic because I was into like Travis Scott's photos with
Hmm.
Race Corrupted Mind, but I
Yeah,
realized
dope guy.
he shoots with a DSLR, right?
Yeah, he shoots
But
digital.
the
He
way
just
he edits it
edits.
with the grain and shit, like, and the
Yeah,
warm
it
look,
was.
I really like
You
that.
know what?
Yeah,
I definitely noticed that in your shit. Because
huge
before I met you,
influence.
I was like, this fool is like race corrupted, like inspired for sure.
Hell
I try not
yeah.
to hate on anybody, especially if it looks like somebody else's, because honestly, everybody's shit's been done. If somebody's just happens to be like, a little popping and doing it, I'll get it. But like, yeah, I definitely noticed that in your work. Like, it's like an orange like tint,
Hell yeah,
right?
it's the warmth to it, you
Yeah,
know? And
I fuck
like,
with that.
because it's weird, because when I started shooting with a point and shoot, right, like, I didn't well, I shot like my first roll, right? It was a Portra 400 because like my friend told me it was good, and the photo lab I went in the Bay it said it was good too. It's like a standard, so
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, let's shoot with this. And then I developed it, or I didn't develop it myself. I went to a photo lab,
right,
and
right.
then it was all unedited. But when I was in the Bay, I was living with my aunt and my uncle, and my uncle actually used to shoot and film. And
Oh,
he
dope.
plays
Yeah.
around with a DSLR now, but I mean he's been around for a while. Shout out to my uncle.
Right, right.
So he knows a lot about photography. So like every morning when I would carpool with him to drive to my internship, we would talk about photography. And the first time I shot that roll, like I was with my friend. Shout out to my friend Sam, like because he's from the Bay. We were just shooting around, and like I didn't know that photographers edit, or a lot of them they edit it in order to like show their style. I thought people just post
Hmm.
blanks, you know what I mean? So I was like,
Right.
I didn't know that a lot of photographers, at least this is what my uncle said, the blanks or the like the JPEGs they get straight from the camera, whatever the raws, right? Whatever the raw files are called, they treat that as their like blank slate, as their canvas, and then they go on like
Hmm.
Photoshop or Lightroom to do their thing and add their style. So that's when I started like editing, and I was like, all right, let me like stop being lazy and thinking I'm cool with no filter. But like I've seen people pull it off though, like no filter, right? And you were
Yeah.
saying that earlier,
It's,
how you're kind of deciding if whether or not you should edit your photos, right?
right. I'll get into that right now, but like I think I totally like skipped like how you asked me how I started in photography. I'll get into it right now.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll just
yeah,
be quick.
yeah.
Basically like in high school, um I went to like this secondary high school, so we had a lot of free field trips. But so my dad got me this cheap point and shoot from thrift store, $5,
Yeah, yeah.
Minolta, Freedom Duel. I don't remember. I still have it to this day, and I'll never give it away. But it doesn't even work anymore.
Wait, do you have it right
Um,
now? You wanna
yeah,
bring
fuck
it
yeah,
out?
hell
Yeah,
yeah, I
I'm
do.
gonna bring out. I have mine right here on the drawer. my first point and shoot. Wait, actually,
Yo,
yeah. Let me see
right
yours.
here,
Oh shit!
right
Wait,
here,
bring
the
it. Move it more to
Minolta
the left, cause my
to the
screen's blocked.
left.
Oh, that's beautiful, bro. Like,
Let's see. It doesn't even turn on.
so that was your
Nope.
first one that you shot with.
Right. So
That's tight.
basically the story is when I was going on those field trips, he got this for the field trips, but I didn't have film. I didn't know like I didn't have any knowledge of film whatsoever,
Yeah, yeah.
like dead ass. Like, I grew up I mean, I had an idea cuz like we shot on disposables like when I was younger.
Right,
I
right.
kind of I knew about going to CVS with my mom and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But other than that, like I kind of just the period, we blanked out. Like we had all digital shit. Like didn't matter. So I brought the little like digital point and shoot instead, so I could have it. I had it on an SD card.
Right, right,
But then
right.
after high school, after all those trips, I started getting more into film photography. Then I think Shimodu. Oh no, okay. So backtrack. In on those field trips, we went to Washington D.C. for 5 days, and then we went to the museum. And then in the museum, I don't know if the museum is still out in DC anymore. They might have like changed it out, but basically it's a whole museum of like journalist stuff. There's this whole section of like Life magazine, like 100 best pictures of, I don't even remember, but that just basically inspired me. There's this one, I forgot, maybe it was like in the Vietnam War, where there's like this kid running down the street crying. It's a super famous photo. Like I'm sure like a lot of people have seen it,
Right.
but definitely that stuck out to me. So I wanted to dip into black and white photography after that.
Mm.
I didn't really get to use this as much until I found another SLR, a
Okay.
Minolta one from
Nice.
another thrift with my dad, of course, again. So then I started using that a lot,
You
and
have
then
that?
that's basically. I don't have that anymore, man.
It's
I
all
think that
good.
might be in my storage.
It's all good.
Um, but yeah, that's basically how I got into it. My dad got me my first camera, so that was cool. But I never really got into it until like I started seeing like it was shot on film. It was back in the day, black and white. Even actually, I think Gunnar Stahl. Do you know who Gunnar Stahl is?
I feel like I've heard of that name.
He shoots for a lot of rappers too. Like I think
Wait, is he the
he
one
got
that's
me.
like popularizing like the flash look? Is that him or no? Is that
Basically, yeah, I think I got kind of into that look early on into my photography too. The flash look. You know how it is. Like everybody does it now. I honestly hate it,
oh,
but
race
hey,
corrupted?
if
Yeah,
it's
I love it.
if it's your style, it's your style. I still do it too. I'm
That's
not
why I
gonna
got a
lie.
point and
If
shoot so I can just flash every time.
exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
man, that shit is crisp. Like if you're mad lazy that day, fuck it, just point and shoot, man. Like where's that shit? Where's my Yashica
Some
T4? I'm
some
gonna
people
flex.
hate how flash looks, and some people like they say, "Oh,
No,
I think I look better with flash." Like,
I like it. I mean, I went through like the phase of it. I think right now I'm on like 120.
oh, okay,
120 is my vibe. I think I'm gonna
you're like fuck
in the
35.
future of shooting. Yeah, exactly. I would rather just shoot 120 and then have 35 for a rainy day, and then maybe just shoot digital. I don't know,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, that's how I got into photography
Did you
basically.
learn like who
And
actually taught you? Taught you? Was it YouTube? Was it a friend? Like,
right, so basically I'm kind of self-taught YouTube.
nice, nice.
I would shout out some people on YouTube. King Japes, I think,
Hey, I follow
the
that guy.
Filipino
He's
guy.
tight, dude.
Definitely,
I subscribe to
He
him.
follows me on Instagram. Shout out to
Oh,
him.
that's tight. That's tight. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Definitely, I got because I had the Minolta X700 and I looked at Minolta X700. That was one of my first cameras, and
Nice, nice.
he's like one of the first one. I'm Filipino, so support.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Definitely, he's cool. I think there's another Filipino guy, Mike Pata.
Hmm.
I forgot. Shoot Film Co. So yeah, I basically learned online. That's all. I was scared like learning how to do exposure values and all that, but that shit's honestly second nature to me now. It's crazy. I don't know.
Right.
I didn't go to school for it.
Me
I
neither,
kind
man.
of so it's like it's just the passion of like just learning if you really want to. So definitely, I'd like to go to school for it for sure, but
Yeah, yeah.
um, I don't know. School's not for me either. But I definitely would like to just learn, like extend my, education in it, like learn lighting, learn all this other stuff, composition. Everybody could always get better at the end of the day.
Right, right. And you want to go into how or your thoughts on like if you want to start editing your photos, or you're just gonna keep it
Right.
raw?
So
Let me.
getting to that next,
Yeah.
sorry, back, I kind of lost that.
No, you good.
Anyway, yeah, like it just depends how the photo is. Like going in with like the exposure values when I shoot. So me and you shoot on film, so we don't, depending on your camera, you're not always gonna have a light meter.
Right, right,
And all the cameras I use right now don't have a light meter.
right,
They just don't work or they don't have it.
right.
So I'll just show this, I guess. This is my
Hell yeah.
SLR, the love of
Oh,
my life.
can you
Not
show it
really, but
more to the left? Yeah, and
more to the
YouTube. Yeah,
left.
perfect. Yeah, that's beautiful.
All right, there you go. That's your thumbnail.
I don't
Anyway,
know.
that's the Nikon F.
Yeah.
No, what's it called, light meter. So you gotta kind of just base everything on. In just depends what your ISO you're shooting to. I'm not gonna get like, this is not my TED talk. I'm not gonna go into a class about it. But
They can
yeah, it's
Google that
tough.
shit.
So
Yeah.
so depending if my exposure comes out good after the shot, after I see it, maybe I'll edit it a bit. Like maybe I'll take some shadows out. Maybe I'll take some highlights out or add more shadows. Depends, it just depends the photo. Just to enhance it a bit. You'll definitely notice a difference. Even working at the photo lab, like
Mhm.
printing stuff, you see people like just enhance it a bit more and just looks popping. Like it looks way better. I think everybody should just edit a bit. Because actually, inside tip from a guy who works at a photo lab, we do edit some of your photos a bit. Like we do make it darker than it actually is already, and it
Oh,
also just depends. It depends on the scanner depends. So if you rescan it, it might come out different on a different scanner. But we do like maybe put a little bit more density into it just to make it a little bit darker, just so it looks good. Because we know like some people out there don't have the editing software either, so
exactly.
or they just don't care. They might think. So definitely we try to put as much like passion as we would into our photos.
Dude, I love it, man. I mean, that's the reason why I kept going to you guys, not just because like you're a mutual friend through Nathan. It's like when you guys like sent me the weak transfer file and all that, and I saw how it looked. Because I remember when I first got the first roll developed there, I forgot to tell you guys like, oh, can you guys like not like do much to it? I forgot to do
Hmm.
that. I guess that worked to my benefit because I was surprised how good it looked, just from you guys developing it. So just keep doing it the same. Next time I go, like, I
I
don't
mean,
mind. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
honestly, people who are photographers like you and like who really are into it, like most of the time the exposures are fine. Like they know what they're doing. And even then, I try not to like personally me when I scan. I don't know about my coworkers. Like I try not to even edit it because like you said, I would rather have the photographer do it.
Right.
But then you kind of know who you're editing, and we get a lot of people who come by like kids who just drop off disposable. That's another thing we'll get into, like disposables. That's a fucking ginormous thing right now. Um, but yeah, so I try not to edit anybody's photos as much unless they look terrible. But other than that, like just try to leave it raw so they could do it themselves.
Yeah.
Maybe they might even like it like that. So,
Yes. So like when I started editing, like that I was doing it on Photoshop. I know a lot of like my photographer friends that use like more digital stuff, not really film. They do a lot on Lightroom. I tried
Lightroom's great.
dabbling with Lightroom, but like I don't know. I was just too lazy to learn more about it. I was like I'm just so more used to Photoshop. So my friend Peter, like when he would edit my film photos, he would send me the TIFF files too, right? And he
Hmm.
would he's like Peter's like a Photoshop king, man. Like this guy has been doing it since like he was young, and he knows like all these little like functions of Photoshop that are so deep. But he showed me, he simplified it. He's like, yo, man, check out this thing called curves, RGB curves.
Oh,
Like,
curves.
yeah, he's like, learn
Yeah.
about it. That's literally like the majority of all I do for my edits. Like
Yeah, man.
a
You
little
don't
bit of
have to do
curves, a
much.
little bit of just adjusting the balance of the warmth, the tone. Like that's it. Like I
Yeah.
don't do anything crazy. But similar with because you know how I work in audio, right?
Hmm.
there's a lot of similarities between like the
Right. I'm
resolution
sure.
of a visual picture and the resolution of audio. And my whole philosophy has always been like I could learn all these things, but at the end of the day, I have to use my ear. With photography, at the end of the day, I have to see what it's doing to my eye. How am I seeing it? What's the result looking like? So,
Hmm.
how I would play things by ear for music, I would play with my eye for editing my photos. If even if like other photographers might criticize me that I'm doing it wrong or whatever, it's like, hey man, at the end of the day, this is art. Like I can do it how the hell I want, you
Right.
know. And if I think it
Right.
sucks, then I'll learn and then I'll move on to the next. So yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah, everybody edits their way. Like working at the photo lab, I come across a lot of photographers who do put a lot of like editing time into their photos, which is fine. Like there's a guy who comes by who only shoots digital, and his shit looks super crazy. Like it's like you remember those like old they're like kind of like they're not even picture frames, but they're like old, and then like you turn them on, the lights go off, and then like the little water streams, they have like different ones of nature.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you've never seen those? Like
I've
you could
seen
turn it, flick
those.
it on. Yeah,
Like
it's like his photos look like that. It's crazy.
what the hell?
Like so it just depends how you like to like you do the curves, I do the levels, I just
Oh,
do a little
levels
bit of
too. That's the other
highlights.
one. Levels.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
levels
yeah.
and curves and
Levels and curves.
highlights
Yeah.
and all those stuff. That's all I really try to dabble in. I don't Lightroom's crazy. You could you could like literally edit every color in there. I try not to do much. I only try to
Yeah.
do a little bit of magenta and green.
Oh, nice. You like that those
And
colors? Yeah.
that's yeah, yeah, I like a little bit more because like Portra Paolo, so I like a little bit more of the real feel. Fuji
Oh,
for me is a little bit more greenish,
it is. I've noticed
so
that with Fuji. Yeah.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Fuji's Fuji, so people like that too. But I like Portra, so I just like the natural tones.
Dude, I've always preferred Portra, man, and it was funny because when I would shoot right in the bay, like I really, really clinged on to Portra 800, and that shit's like super
Yeah.
expensive, man. And that's the thing with film too, because like when I got into it, I was at my internship and I was getting paid pretty well, man. And like for me, photography was like a stress reliever. When I would commute home from work, I would take the bus, I would walk around downtown San Jose and just start shooting. And I
Hmm.
like Portra 800 and just the Portra series because of the like the way the colors look when it gets developed to start with, and also like I like because of Ray's corrupted mind. I like grain, man. Like I like my fucking grain. So like, dude,
Yo,
I have so
Fuji.
many of these boxes, bro. Like, but it's so expensive now. At now, I can't really afford it. I'll shoot with anything, to be honest. Like, I have
Yeah,
tons of these boxes.
Portra boys.
Hey, move it to the wait, show it to the left. Like,
Oh,
it
okay,
was
my bad, my
blocking
bad.
it. Oh
Okay.
hell yeah, dude! Can you send me that? No, I'm playing. Nah.
Nah, bro, it's my only 800.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
It's rare now. Nah, I'm playing.
nah, not really. They used to have this Fuji 1600.
Holy
Uh,
shit!
there
What
was
the?
there's a Superior and then Natura. I think Natura was a little bit better, but dude, Superior always went on sale at Freestyle Photo. Have you heard of that?
No, is that in the valley? Or
Freestyle Photo, no, that's by like Hollywood Sunset.
oh shit, okay.
But if you need film, definitely check them out because
Freestyle
they got
photo.
great prices, and it's just like literally you could take a drive down there and pick it up if you have to.
Cheaper than
Um,
Amazon or eBay?
I think it is because it's a wholesale, so sometimes they go on sale. So you could buy like a brick of Portra for like $45 or
Oh
40
shit.
bucks. That's pretty good already because I know they go be like 50.
Yeah, man. Dude,
So I mean, film, yeah, that's the other thing, man. Film is
it's an expensive
expensive.
hobby, man. Like,
I think I'm very fortunate I get to work at a photo lab. Like I'm not gonna
yeah.
keep bringing that shit up. I feel like, oh, he works at a photo lab. We get it. Hey, I'm broke. I'm broke right now. I'm not working, so I don't have a photo lab.
Thank
I
God
can't go
EDD.
anywhere. No facts. Shout out the government for now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, film is so expensive. But like, you could vice versa that with digital too, because those lenses, man,
Hell
they'll
yeah.
run you. That's a 2002 Honda, man.
Dude,
Fuck,
it's a
like
Honda. Some people
dead
get cars for
ass.
their
Like
birthday, some people get really nice lenses, man.
yo, for real, like those like ginormous ones, like that's crazy. I mean, I don't know. For me, I've never been about gear. Like
Same,
I just
dude.
work with what you got. Like I used to like back probably when I was starting out. I wanted the Contact T3 so bad. I was like,
Right.
fuck. You know that one?
No, I don't, but it sounds expensive.
It's it's a super hyped one, bro. Like I don't know. Like a lot of the famous photographers used it, I guess, but it's like a $1,300. No, it's probably more. It's like $2,300 camera. Not
Dude,
worth it. It's a point and shoot.
Dude, with gear, like I'm completely on you with that. Like I always, even with music, man, I never had the best equipment, but I was always, I trained myself to like make the most out of it, and like people f with it, you know what I mean? Like even
Right.
like with cameras, right? Like so, I'll show you because you showed your first point and shoot. This one wasn't my first one. My first one actually broke. I dropped it like an idiot. That one I got
Uh,
at a like a Salvation Army for like $3. But I moved on to
mhm.
this one, and like people would talk. People are justified to talk shit about this because guess where I got this, bro? Like the worst place you could get it if you're trying to get it to film. Like the most
Mm,
like stereotype like this guy doesn't really shoot photos. Like just guess. It's a
what
common
do you, like a
store.
like Goodwill?
Nah, nah, nah. Urban Outfitters,
Salvation.
bro. Urban
Oh,
Outfitters.
Urban. Wow, they sold that brand new.
This is a brand new one, yeah. So it's
Oh
a
shit.
Ansco Tegra, and I don't even know this brand, bro. I looked it up, and it has bad ratings. I'm like, what's so bad about it? But like, one thing I learned from watching other photographers, it's like it's about the feel. Like, do you like how it feels on your hand? Are you comfortable with
Definitely.
shooting it? Because at the end of the day, it's assisting your vision, right? Your how you
Right.
the
Yeah.
angles you
Every
go about.
camera is different.
Yes,
Sometimes the viewfinders to the side and shit, like it's annoying. So if
exactly.
you rock with it, you rock with it, bro.
I
I'll
did,
let you
man.
into something too, man. Like I
Yeah.
don't know. For me personally, like seeing point and shoot, that's like a majority of the time. Like what the photos come in, like just basically point and shoot photos. It's fine, it's everybody's hobby too. So I think it's great. But a lot of the point and shoots have the same effect.
Yeah, that's
Doesn't matter.
true.
I compared the T3 people, like there's a lot of people who come with T3s, like they got a lot of money, and then I compare it to somebody who comes in with like a cheaper like $5 one from the thrift store, and
Yeah,
it's just the same, man. You
exactly.
want that point and shoot look? It's the
A
same.
point
It's
and
all
shoot
the
is a
same.
point and shoot. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. If anything, you got to invest in a 120 camera,
oh, you're really
or
about that,
a Leica or something. I don't know.
bro. That shit expensive. But like, with the point and shoots, like, it was funny because like when I started getting more into film, my mom noticed and she's like all your photos, like, we were looking at the storage, our old boxes, and we still have our old camera. It's like a Pentax like point and shoot. I'm like, oh no way. So I got it right. It's this one, and like
Oh, that's a good one.
when I think this is one of the first ones I got developed at your guys' place, and that shit had hella
Mhm.
light leaks, right? Um,
Oh, okay.
reason being, I don't know if you noticed that. I don't know if you developed it. It had so much light leaks. It's actually broken. This part where you open
Oh,
it for the film. I taped it before. I taped it with clear tape, and I think obviously that probably didn't help. It still let
no.
the light in,
Yeah.
but it kind of looked cool. But it destroyed a bunch of my shots that I was so excited for. I'm like, damn it. But recently, when I covered it with the black electrical tape, like it fixed it.
Yeah.
But like I liked it because this could zoom in and like I could actually, it's not fixed focus like that first one I showed you. So I was able to get crispier shots. But like in terms of my third camera, so this one was like what, like 20 $30. Urban Outfitters, complete rip off. But hey man, I just needed it right away at the time, and that was the nearest store to me at the time. And then this one I got it for free, right? It's from my mom's from the '90s.
Right.
And
You come
then
up. Yeah.
yeah,
Those
and
are
then
always the best.
hell yeah, dude, because like you compare it to your old album photos from your family, it's like, oh shit, I'm using the same one. And then
Right. That's a
Nathan's
dope.
brother, shout outs to Jack, he gave me this one.
Oh, nice.
This is
Pentax.
my only SLR. It comes with this lens, but like he gave me other kinds of lenses too. But dude, like this was my first SLR, so I didn't really know what I was doing. But it actually has a built-in light meter, so like
Oh, yeah.
once I read
Perfect.
the manual, because like that's what people tell me with audio too. You
Oh,
have a
yeah.
new program, you have a
Always.
new mic, you gotta read the manual. You gotta.
Always. I definitely always recommend reading any camera I get brand new, or even if I'm borrowing, I always look up the manual. Shout out to buttkiss.com. That's all. They got all the film camera manuals on
I didn't
there.
know that, man. You gotta link me that. I had to search for that manual
Dead
for some of
ass.
those
I mean,
cameras.
I don't know. I'd be just looking up the name and then I put manual, and Butkus usually always has it. It's like butkus.com. I
Butt
don't
kiss,
know.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
dead ass. It's Butkus. But yeah, they got all the manuals usually.
Damn, that's crazy, man. So like when you shoot though, what who are your like or let me ask you this, because it's an expensive hobby, right? I justify it with the feeling I get while I'm shooting. Like it's therapeutic, it's fun. There's an excitement to it, right? Because like with film, you're not gonna see how it looks right away, so you're
Hmm.
always like wondering. But like um, I generally enjoy like interacting with. That's what I like about. I mean, street photography. That term gets thrown around. You could express your opinion on that. It's like some photographers believe people like really misconstrued that term in all sorts of
Right.
ways. But to me, the essence of it, at least from what I understood, was like it had to be in like a setting where people were not necessarily the main subject, but like they were in that urban area. Is that like correct? It's like using those surroundings in real time, or like what is your take on street photography? And is that something that you
Um,
like to do, or you're more of a landscape guy, or you're more all around? You don't like to get boxed in? Because me, I like street
uh,
photography out of everything. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I don't like to get boxed in, but I think if I had to go away, it'd definitely be street photography because it goes in line with almost everything. Like, you could do portraits, you could do landscape. So I think I like to put myself as like photojournalist, and that's what I want to do. I want to do
Photojournalist.
photojournalism
Okay.
somehow, some way. I don't want to go to school for it though, honestly, but I mean that's kind of how you got to do it. But anyway, I think like street photography, I think it just has to be raw. It doesn't have to be anything special. It doesn't have to be a certain way. I think though it is wrong to exploit people, especially homeless people. It's a huge fucking problem right now. I've been
Dude,
homeless. I'm not afraid to say it. Like,
hell yeah.
and it sucks. So you could definitely understand like if somebody comes up to you, like, there's no problem with taking a photo of somebody as long as you have a conversation, and that's how I always approach street
Yeah,
photography. Like, you always need to make a connection. That's how it makes the photo better too. It makes it more,
exactly.
real. Like I have a story, like I'll share. He's not a homeless guy or anything either. He could be, I don't know. But
Tell him,
basically,
man. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I ride the bus almost daily to work, so I encounter everybody, and I love it because I'm fucking from LA. I'm from the Valley, and
Oh yeah.
I'm with my peoples.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm I'm fucking like I'm in that shit. So, I mean, there's this guy, right? It was like I think in the summertime. He was just moving here from I forgot where, East Coast. He was trying to talk to this lady. It kind of seemed like he was coming off crazy, but he was just being loud, maybe. He was like very out there,
Right, right.
outgoing person. But then no one was really giving him any attention. Then like we just started chopping it up. Honestly, I'll keep it short, but like we were chopping it up, and then like I ended up taking a photo of him on my point and shoot at the end before I get off the stop, and I forgot my phone on the bus, bro, because my
Oh
pants at the
shit.
time had small pockets. Fuck those
I feel
pants.
that. I hate that, man. It slips out. Yeah.
So I put my phone down and I left it on the bus, bro. And like I had the Bluetooth headphones on, and they like disconnected. I'm like, what the hell? So like I'm looking at my pockets, it's gone. I forgot it on the bus. But then like I tried to run for the bus. It was a hot ass day. I'm not gonna catch it at the next stop. So I'm like, fuck it, I lost my phone. And then like maybe I get to work because I was on my way to work. Maybe 15 minutes later, the guy comes back. He walked back from the next stop and he returned my phone.
Holy shit.
So like I at that point I was like, fuck. I'm hopefully the bus driver got it because like I kind of know him, or like maybe the guy got it. Maybe like I don't know who he is. Like it's some random guy I just met. Like your parents always say, don't talk to strangers, but like me, I don't listen. I always give everybody.
Same,
After
same.
that day, bro, like I gave like. I mean, even before that, I was always still talking to people, but even after that, like it just made me realize, like everybody who comes here, like they're regular people. You just gotta like give them a chance, and I think that's how I take street photography. I don't care who it is, how crazy they look. Like I'll talk to them, and then I'll ask them for a photo. If they say no, then no. Then I have that conversation. I keep that with me, and then maybe I'll see them another time, or just to have that connection. Maybe they'll remember that. Maybe it would change their mind and on shit. Like maybe they'll get their shit together. I don't know, but I just try to help out as much as I can for them.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's like a crazy story. Cause like when I was in San Jose, like I felt more connected to the city by like humanizing every person I encountered. Right. Like you said, like our parents said, never talk to strangers. But like when I started talking to some of these people, like the first role I shot, this guy was busking. I don't know if he was homeless or not, but he was playing his guitar. It was at night. Me and my friend were walking, and it was a really dope shot. Like I didn't even like edit it, but I asked them like, "Oh, can I take a pic?" But like even if they're like busking or homeless, I always like try to either ask them permission or give them a tip before I asked to take a photo, just because like I felt it might have been disrespectful.
Right.
But yeah, like that was another thing with street photography. It was just learning how to talk to strangers and ask for their photo. Like that thing is scary, but it's also like humanizing, and you realize 9 times out of 10 people won't reject you. But the more I started shooting, the more I started getting rejections, and I was like, damn, there's this crazy story where I effed up, right? Because like I'm in the camp of like I am down to ask people permission, but sometimes if I'm not super close up in front of them, I might not ask for their permission.
No, yeah,
Right?
definitely. I was gonna say that next. Like, if you have the shot and you think it looks good, like as long as I feel like as long as you're not really, I don't know, it's a tough situation, but like as long as they're not like being exposed like in a bad way, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
As long as even like real emotion sometimes is better than asking, because you get that raw shit, that candid that everybody's trying to get, and it's hard to get for sure. So sometimes maybe after you could approach them, but I mean, yes, I've definitely done it. I'm guilty of doing that shit. Like
Yeah.
I've definitely done that shit before.
So like the worst encounter I had was like I never posted this picture because like it was just a bad experience. I was just in the
Hmm.
streets of San Jose, and like there's two things I like to shoot, bro. Because I'm extroverted, I like people. That's number one, and number two are dogs. Because I never had a
Yeah,
dog,
man.
but like
Oh,
I've always wanted a dog.
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I'm not into really big dogs. They scare me low key because I had a friend that has a big dog that like jumped on me. I was like, I'm gonna die. Like I'm more into puppies, but those are the two subjects I like to shoot. And then like every now and then maybe I'll get some cars or like maybe a landscape if it looks
Mhm.
cool, or a building architecture, it might look cool, certain angles. But I mainly shoot people and dogs, right? So this lady was walking. She had a really cool looking dog, right? And then I take the shot. It's a point and shoot, and it's late at night, so it flashed, right?
Mhm.
I start walking, and then I hear this lady go, "Hey, who you take that photo of?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" So I didn't look back. I just kept walking like a little faster. But I was like, "Okay, I'm not gonna run. I'm not gonna run. This is weird." And she started running towards me,
Oh
and
fuck.
like confronted me face to face, like, "Yo, like, why'd you take that photo of me?" And this is not the girl that was walking the dog. This was the lady
Oh,
behind
okay.
her. And I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
"Oh,
Wow.
I didn't know. I was just taking a picture of the. I was taking a picture of the dog. She's like, next time you gotta ask. I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Like, my bad. But like, that was the first time. Like, not that I was, because I've been rejected, right? But that was me
Right.
initiating. This one was like, she told me in my face, like, next time you gotta ask. So I was like, you are in a public
Damn.
space though.
Right. Yeah.
And
You could always bring that shit up.
legally in street photography, if you're in a public space, right? I'm
No.
allowed to
Yeah.
take the photo. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But
Definitely.
yeah, so I never
I was
posted that
that
one,
was
but yeah.
that was a plot twist. I thought the dog owner was gonna be mad because I have a story of
No,
that
she was
actually.
cool. The
I
dog
will.
owner just like, what's going on? Like they're
Usually dog owners are cool about it.
yeah, to
But
them it's a compliment. Like, oh wow, like I have a
but
cool
yeah, I've had that happen though. Like a dog like owner like I think I was with my friend and he shoots on 4x5.
Okay.
So I don't know if you know what that is. It's like those big box cameras, the old ones.
Holy shit.
And it looks like a fucking bomb basically, and he's carrying the shit around down he's carrying it
That's
downtown, like
scary,
it's
bro.
already, and he has a flash on it, and then
Oh
I
my
I was able
god.
to take a picture of the dog, but obviously he tried and then it didn't work out, and she was like, "Why'd you take a picture of my dog? That's $5." And then
Oh shit.
like we thought she was joking. We're like, haha, we'll Venmo you. And then we started walking across the street, and then she's like, hey, and then like they started getting mad, like the
Oh
husband or
shit.
whatever, the boyfriend. So we just had to like book it, not book it, run, like just walk like you and ignore kind of.
Right,
She
right,
didn't run
right.
after us or anything, but we split like the two streets so they couldn't catch us. But I mean, yeah, I mean sometimes dog people will be like that, but I mean, hey, your dog is cute, man.
Exactly. Like it's a
That's
compliment.
like the best. Yeah.
And that's cool, man. Cause like I've never really like your other friend. So you were both shooting, right?
Yeah.
Like photographers shooting together, and that's why when I went back here, I couldn't wait until I was able to shoot with you, cause like whenever I would go for a shoot with friends, it's either I'm the model or subject, or they're the model or subject. It was never let's be like more than one photographer shooting around the city at the same time. So like
Right.
to me that's
I mean,
exciting because you kind of can compare, not in like ego way, but more in like a friendly competition kind of way. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah, for
yeah,
sure. I mean, yeah, and everybody shoots different, so you definitely get like different shots of something. But yeah, that's definitely what I love to do for street photography. Go downtown. I mean, I love the valley, and like I said, I was bussing it for a while, so I was definitely doing a lot of street photography in the valley. Shout out to my guy, Jason Bautista. He shoots in Van Nuys Boulevard only.
really.
Not
Well,
Van Nuys
Van Nuys
only,
is a
but
long street because I used to live in Sylmar, so that shit
mhm.
curves all the way down to
No, yeah,
Sylmar. Yeah.
he. I think he works at like the Lexus dealer or something,
Oh
but
shit, that's near my middle
he's
school. I went to Van Nuys Middle School.
yeah. Shout out
The
to him. Hopefully he
dealerships.
sees this.
Keys on
I'll
Van
shout out to
Nuys.
him. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Facts. He's on
Yeah,
Van Nuys.
yeah,
But
yeah.
he shoots on there. Shout out to him. He's putting on for Van Nuys, so definitely a good thing. I definitely want to put on for the Valley too, more for street
Dude,
photography.
same. Ever since I moved, cause like I got into it when I was in the Bay, but I'm like I'm not from the Bay. You know what I mean? So I don't
I
have.
think it's like a
Yeah,
misconception where people can like people from the Valley, or I mean, I've said it too. Like, don't get me wrong,
yeah,
boring sometimes is boring, but you could always find shit around here, and I don't think you really necessarily have to leave to
yeah.
find what you're looking
And
for.
it's like
Cause like shit, you want like forest? Go to fucking Balboa Park. You want some city? I don't know. Go to like Glendale.
yeah, like make the like my homie Peter, right? Peter Lillian. Like the reason why I respect him as a photographer, his whole mantra, or I don't know if it's brand or what quote he does when he puts out his photos. He calls it insignificant art, right?
Mhm.
And I remember when we would go on photo shoots around USC for my album cover, I would like refer him like all these like really cool Instagrammy spots, and he'll be like, "Nah, like we could do something cool with just like around the block, some alleyway." I'm like,
No,
"Really?"
yeah,
And he's
perfect.
like, "Yeah," and he really taught me and inspired me to make use of like insignificant looking things and portray them in a different way where it looks cool. So like, even like because I am born and raised in the San Fernando Valley, like, and this is not the most touristy location in LA
Yeah.
for sure, but like I I recently like followed this guy on Instagram, Blue Hour. I don't know if you follow them. Um,
No,
they
I haven't heard of
literally
them.
rep the valley really well because their consistency and their
Oh,
style is they shoot during twilight, like
oh,
sun's
cool.
almost down, and they
Yeah.
put a blue filter on the sky, and it's a lot of these landmarks are like insignificant. It's like the Bank of America on Sherman Way, but he makes it
Oh
look so
shit.
cool. Or
No,
the
yeah,
uh,
definitely
the
fuck with that.
what's that diner place on Woodley, and is it Victory Peeps, or I
Oh, are you
forgot.
talking about Millie's? Are you talking about
No,
Millie's?
no, it's like blue and pink. I forgot. Is it Peeps or something? Eeps, like is the name.
I definitely probably seen it.
But
Like,
but
I
yeah,
fuck with that though. Like, just like places like, I think there's like a while ago there was like this YouTube channel who did like videos of like say Canoga Park, like, hey, food, like, like I don't know, they did like funny shit like that. I don't know, it's still around, but like they would do stuff like even in like Granada Hills, like specific spots everybody knows, like this like skate park and shit like that. So like it's funny as fuck. Like I fuck with shit like that because like it's shit we grew up in and we've known for a minute.
dude. Once this like thing is, I mean, I might start shooting soon again. I mean, my favorite thing is to shoot people. So if I start shooting around, there might not be a lot of people.
Right,
But
that's
I
the tough part right
do,
now.
yeah. But I do like. I feel like there's so many parts of the valley. I already think in my head I can make it look cool, and make it special, and stuff that are
No, man,
significant to
like
me. Yeah.
definitely like most of my shoots, like if even with people, like I don't if I don't know what I'm gonna go into, like I don't even know where like some that's the other thing like when I'm shooting like sometimes you know how it is people don't really know where to go what to do whatever it might be so like sometimes I'm just like let's go to this park and make it happen and then it only takes like an hour. I only shoot like two rolls of film and it's done. Like you don't have to go like extra mile to go to the desert or go to the
Right. Right.
fucking poppy fields and I mean
Right. Right.
those are dope places too, don't get me wrong, if that's what you're looking for, but
Right.
like you said, you could literally go in the alleyway, make it look dope, and
Yeah.
be like, that was like, I don't know, in downtown Los Angeles or
Yeah.
something.
Or that was a Porter Ranch or like Van Nuys. Like,
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
people that do that because it's like it really puts the valley on the map, and it takes away it makes us more interesting from an art standpoint. Like
No, yeah,
it's not only an art thing, it's a cultural thing. It makes people proud to be where you're from.
definitely. I mean, I think I just try to surround myself from people with the valley, bro. Like, straight up, like, I think all my closest friends are from here. You know, the people I'm trying to connect with are from here, like you. So, like, as much as I love the valley, and I'm definitely gonna move soon. Like, I'll always come back. Like, I
Oh,
can't
same,
like not come back. Like,
same.
I know the streets too well. Like, this is like, like I always think about that. Like, what if like you grew up in New York, right? Like, all those numbered streets. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? I don't know any of that shit. I know Sherman Way. I know Victory. I know Burbank. I know
Let's do it. Let's
all
do
those
it.
streets.
It's Victory, Van Owen, Sherman
Van
Way,
Owen,
Sherman
Sherman Way,
Way,
and then
Roscoe,
uh
or
no
Satakoy,
Satakoy,
and then
Satakoy,
Roscoe,
Roscoe, then Nordoff,
Nordhoff.
right?
Yeah, then
Or is it
Devonshire.
Plummer?
Oh, Plover.
I don't know.
And then let's
I
go the
don't
other
know.
way. Van
You get
Nuys.
just go. You got you
you
got Van
know,
Nuys, Wilbur.
you know why I love
You
the
know.
Valley? I moved more than 10 times in my childhood. Like it was due to
Oh yeah,
financial
I've
reasons, like because of rent. But dude, like the only time I lived outside of the Valley was, um, in Palmdale. I lived there for a year, which was
oh yeah.
cool in that it actually snowed there that January, that New Year's Day. So that's the first time I saw snow. But like I lived in, so I was born in North Hollywood, right? Well, I was born in Panorama City at Kaiser Permanente, but yeah, I grew up in North Hollywood first 4 years, and then I lived in, Van Nuys, North Hills, Panorama City, Reseda, Sylmar. When the Sylmar fire happened in 2008, I was there. We were
Oh, I
evacuated
remember
by
that.
the hills.
I think I
Yeah,
was in Plymouth.
our house didn't
Yeah.
get touched, thank God. But, let's see. I lived in, Tarzana, right? That's when I started seeing, Ventura more.
hmm
Um, and now I'm in Northridge. Yeah, am I missing something? I mentioned Reseda. Yeah,
Yeah, you did.
yeah. And now I'm in Northridge. So, dude, I lived a lot
Yeah,
of
man.
places in the
I've
valley.
been I've been a lot in the. I'll name some places too. I don't know if I've been around as much as you, but basically after my mom passed when I was 10, me and my
Mm,
dad just kind of been everywhere. Like I said, like we've been homeless. Like I won't get into that right now, but
it's all
yeah,
good, man.
we've.
Yeah, yeah.
But basically, I was born in the Bay Area actually,
Oh
but I
shit.
moved.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wait,
hey,
which part?
I always forget. I think
South
it's like
Bay, East Bay,
no, not South. I think it was like Concord. Is that in East
Concord?
Bay?
I think that's East. I might be wrong. I'm not so well versed in the Bay. I feel like
San
that's East.
Mateo, San Mateo area, San
Oh no,
Mateo
San
area.
Mateo. That's like going,
That
upwards.
that's
That's
in
like it.
that's
Like
in the peninsula,
yeah,
right?
yeah. South Bay going towards Daly City and South San Francisco
Yeah,
and
San
and
Mateo. I was
and
in
the
San
the,
Mateo,
the downtown San Francisco. Yeah, yeah. San Mateo. Yeah.
right? So I was over there, but then we moved here when I was like 2. So like literally, I was raised here. Like
Right. Right. Right.
so, yeah, we were in North Hollywood at first when we moved up here. Granada Hills, Porter Ranch, back to Granada Hills, to Mission Hills.
Oh shit.
After Mission Hills, Burbank. Holy fuck, I hate
Oh
Burbank.
wow,
No offense to
bro.
people who live in Burbank. I
Burbank's
hate
pretty
Burbank.
much Hollywood, bro. If you think about it.
I hate Burbank. I
They
hate the
call it the
people in
Hollywood
Burbank.
Airport now, right? It's not even Bob Hope Airport. It's the
Yeah,
Hollywood
I'm like, where the
Airport.
fuck is the Hollywood Airport? It's the Bob
All
Hope
these,
Airport.
people that are moving into LA to make it, they're not really from here, so it's like it feels
No,
weird.
yeah,
Yeah.
no. That's why everyone sucks at driving. Uh,
That's a whole nother topic.
people from LA, people from LA know how to drive. It's just the people who aren't from here don't know.
Oh
'Cause they can't keep
shit.
up.
I did not know. I didn't even think about it like
Just
that.
think about that. Think about that. Because when we go to a different state, even San Francisco, bro,
Right.
like you know how slow they drive out there. Like
Right.
out here, where we gotta go, man.
Yeah, you gotta go.
But anyway, where was I? Mission Hills, right? Oh no, Burbank, and then after Burbank, back to Canoga Park,
Hmm.
and then now I'm here in Port Ranch. So like 9
Nice.
places. And then
Damn, dude, that's tight. I didn't even
crazy.
know we had that in common. We
Yeah, definitely.
moved a
Let's
lot of
go, man.
places in the
Like,
valley.
but yeah. What else do you want to get into?
I mean, we could go into questions, but before that, like, I wanted to bring up one last thing. Because before we started recording, we started talking about how, like, traveling, at least, why I got into it, right? Like,
hmm
I'm not gonna go deep into how I was in Korea in October for 2 days. I've told that story many times, but it had to do with my work and whatnot. But when I was, basically there, I brought my point and shoot, right? The one I got
hmm
from Urban Outfitters, and like because I learned when I moved to the Bay, right? I moved out of my bubble. I was experiencing a new city, and photography allowed me to connect more there. Same with when I went to Korea, it allowed me to connect more there. And then in February, like we came back right before it got worse. Like my brother and I went to Korea and Japan, and I had my SLR at that point to shoot, and like pictures were coming out nice and better, and I was doing street photography out there. But like um, traveling, I feel like for me traveling, it doesn't have to be outside of the U.S., but just traveling to another city or another area, I feel like it goes hand in hand with the fun I experienced for photography. Like to the point where the next places I want to go is I want to do like a Southeast Asia trip with my family where I go Thailand, Vietnam, and Cambodia, like those three.
Mm.
What's motivating me to go there besides the food, because that's obvious, like the food's amazing there, is also doing photography
Yeah.
out there and connecting and trying to ask for people's photos out there. So and
Mm.
Philippines too, because I mean I've been to Philippines like 3 times, but I've never done it from like going there to do some film photography. But yeah, I've always wanted to go there too, for photography. So is there places that you've never like been to that you want to do and shoot? Like, do you have a top three or
Um,
and the valley
I'm definitely in the
obviously
same
for
boat as
me. You
you.
know, I want to rep the valley always too.
I'm in,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm in the same boat though. Like I have wanderlust like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
Like
that's what it's called.
I
Wonderlust. Yeah.
will, yeah, I want to go anywhere and everywhere. I don't give a fuck where it is, man. Like straight up, I'll work for Vice. I'll go to the trenches, man. Like I want to do some
Holy
fucking
shit.
photography no one's seen. Like I want to get in with a terrorist. I'm not trying to be with them. I'm
I
just
get what
trying
you're
to take
saying because
photos,
you
you
want to
know?
do photojournalism, right?
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. I want to get some shit, man. Like at the end of the day, portraits is cool. But I don't know. Like I would want to rather do tell people's story. I think that's how like when I mentioned the museum, like it definitely like fucking touched me in a different way. Like seeing like kids like in that time in the war, like they didn't have shit. They were skinny. It's crazy. Like so, I don't know. I think after that, like I just don't want to tell people's story because I think for me growing up, like I was a shy kid. No one really knew a lot about me. So like I think
Same,
it
dude.
kind of makes me want to show other people's story and maybe they could see a side of me as well.
Hmm.
I don't know. As cliche as that sounds,
No, that's a good way to
that's
put
kind of
it.
how.
Because in photography, you're documenting,
Right.
and whether or not it's recorded, you're at least making that connection where you get to know someone in a context that you never expected, and that photo
Mhm.
could be a memory of that connection.
Right.
So
I
that's
think
really
I
dope.
could go into like any photo I've taken and I could at least remember exactly what was going through my mind
That's
after I took it. I don't
crazy.
know if you're the same. Like
Oh hell
I
yeah,
could,
dude! I look at my
yeah, I
my
think,
you know.
yeah, that's dope because like I think every film photographer is the same way versus like a digital. It's a little bit more meaningful when you get it back and like you could really see like your composition, like how much time you put into that. I don't know. I'd be like nostalgic of looking at photos from yesterday. Like, fuck, that happened yesterday. Like,
One
straight
hour
up.
later,
Like, I
like
don't know.
wow.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, I don't know. It's a weird feeling. I go through my like Google Drive, especially now. It's dangerous now since we're all quarantined. Like, looking at all, looking through like good times. Like, shit.
Dude, I want to post so many of old shit I got, man. And there's nothing even wrong about it. Like people are accepting about it just cuz like it's hard to make
I
new
think
stuff right now, you know.
right. I kind of want to get into that too. Like, I don't know. How do you feel about posting your work on Instagram? Would you you have your own website, correct? Or you're
Yes,
not right now?
yes. JamesLayno.com. Yeah. So, sorry cuz you kind of got cut off. What were you saying? You were saying like I post on Instagram. And what was your
Right.
question? Yeah.
Would you like so my dilemma right now is kind of like I don't want to post too much of my photos on Instagram, like my best. I'd rather do it on the website. So for you, do you feel like would you rather post on Instagram for people to see it or just post it on your website?
Right now
Or kind
I'm
of have it
getting
cycling?
Right now, I'm getting zero traffic on my website, and I'm not building any like exclusive platform for people to have access to it. So for me, the
Mhm.
answer is Instagram, just because the accessibility is there.
Right, we're just seeing like you said like would you rather or I was asking you would you rather have your work up on Instagram or on your website for people to see?
Right.
Just because like I feel like right now Instagram is like yeah you could post your photos and get it out there but you're really not making I don't know money on it I guess as an artist with like in an artist what do you call it? Fucking in artist eyes. Like I wouldn't really want it out there like forever. So I don't know. Would you rather have it on like somebody else's thing, like Instagram, or have it on your own platform? But
I get okay. I think I know what you're asking, but let me ask you this: what would be your goal? What would be your priority? Is it to spread your brand? Is it to make money? Like there's different reasons or different goals would lead me to answer that question in a different way, or do you want to hear both? Or what I'm doing right currently.
I guess how you feel about it and what you're doing currently.
Right. So like what I'm doing currently, like I haven't made any money on photo shoots so far. Yo,
Hmm.
Nathan, you gotta pay me next time, dude. You know,
No, dude.
no, it's good
Hey, that's the
practice though.
tough
It's
part.
good. It's good
It's
practice. Like I've
it's
been
definitely
shooting with him
tough
so
starting
long.
off, bro. Dead ass.
Yeah.
Like I think last year I was trying to do lot more shoots, but I mean I got a couple last year, but I've definitely gotten more this year. So I mean, as long as this pandemic ends, like maybe it'll start popping again. But I was getting a good amount of shoots this year at least, like starting off.
The
It's
thing
definitely
with
tough at first.
Yeah, and like there's so many ways to monetize. Like the thing that's hard with having a website is you have to pay to run the website. Like that's always
Hmm.
been my biggest dilemma. Like my website would go on and off depending if not I could afford it this month, you know. Right now I'm kind of using it just as a portfolio place. So like
Right.
cuz Instagram might compress certain things, you might get the better full resolution. You might have more stuff on your website where you could like actually have inquiries and people book photo shoots rather than doing it through DMs. But if it works all on Instagram, might as well do it there and save the money and not have to create a whole new platform where there's less traffic. Um, but in terms of like, yeah, there's different ways to make money, right? It doesn't have to be a photo shoot. You can edit for someone. You can do tutorials. Like, there's you can make merch, right? Like, there's like so many ways to do it. But I say not limit yourself to one. Like me, the reason why I do Instagram because Instagram at its core is a visual platform, right?
Hmm.
Um, so I want to post it there, and I was able to spread and people find my photos from all around the world and connect with them through that platform because it's harder for me to get traffic on my website. You know what I mean? And then I have YouTube, right, where I do like the street photography videos. Like I was inspired by Sean Tuck, King Jace definitely. Real Sir Robin, he's like this German guy. That's where I got like the point of view style for his shots. He shoots in film, and maybe not too many people like this chick, but I kind of see how she has dope videos. Jessica Kobesi, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but she does a lot of the portrait stuff, like asking strangers to take a photo and have them smile. Like that really had me try that out in Korea and Japan. So I was inspired by those. But I think I would see where the people you want to reach are at and try to learn that platform. And then at the end of the day, see what's financially practical for you to do. Is there like a specific thing that are you just trying to build more awareness that people know you're a photographer, or what's your goal right now? Are you trying to
Right.
sell zines? What is your purpose, or like what's your goal
I
with it? Yeah,
think
yeah.
I think I even brought that up because like I don't want to have my Instagram be my portfolio, you know?
Ah, I see, I
Like
see.
other
Yeah, yeah,
people, I guess. I don't
yeah,
know. I
yeah.
don't put too much of my work out there. So I
Mm,
definitely would rather have it on my website.
yeah.
Then I'd rather sell prints on my website as well.
Right.
Like booking the shoots on there, whatever it might be. So I think that's what I would want to do with it. But I definitely understand where it's like sometimes, yeah, people won't click on it. It's tough to like promote it, but I don't know. I think that's why I got kind of wanted to ask your input on that.
I think. Do you follow on YouTube Evan Rav? He's like Atlanta
Uh,
based. I'll
he's a
send you a
photographer.
link. Yeah, yeah, he's dope. He's a dope photographer on YouTube. He's the reason why I made a website in that way. For him, it works, but he's getting his traffic from YouTube because he makes
Right.
videos when he goes shoot. So that's where you're pulling traffic. Like, the only reason why I'm going all in on Instagram is like, it's adding to my brand as a producer, as an artist, and like, oh wow, he does photography, and then vice versa. So
Hmm.
that's where the attention is, and YouTube too, right? I'm linking people to the Instagram or the website. Um, but if you're just straight up on the website, like that's your own domain, where are you gonna direct people to? You know, are you gonna is it always gonna be like your link in your bio? Like, are you promoting on Instagram for people to check out the website? Are you creating videos on YouTube? Are you creating Facebook groups where you're getting all your friends that want to shoot with you and be like, oh, I'll do a deal if you blah 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 sign up on my email list on my website. Like, how are you gonna redirect people? That's something you can look up. But I think Evan Ramft, Ranft, he's this photographer based in Atlanta. I feel like he's a good balance of somebody that has this stuff on a website, on YouTube. I mean, King Japes too, right? Like, he's really good with that too. But it has to come from somewhere. Like, I feel like because social media is so prevalent, if you're not big in one of those or try to build on one of those platforms, it might be difficult trying to build it elsewhere. I mean, real life connections are obviously the best, you know. If you make business cards and you go to events or you meet people or a friend, like word of mouth is the best way to spread to get more people to fuck with your photography. But I mean, don't underestimate the internet either, you know what I mean? Because you never know, like, who, like, these people that are from the valley that you never met might be commenting on the same video as you're commenting on. And unless you put yourself out there, you're not gonna necessarily know. So I'd say put your best work on your website, have your prints available on your website, have your shoots be able to book on your website, then just use Instagram as a way to drive people to there. But the hard thing about social media platforms like Instagram is Instagram tries to keep people on Instagram. Like, that's the way it is. It's a business. YouTube is kind of the same, but I mean, people read the links in the description, and people, like, if you put on the video, like, oh, my website's, and you kind of slowly plug it, not where it's spammy, but like it's a very valuable, informational, or entertaining video of you doing whatever with photography, and you're always plugging it in the end or in the beginning or in the middle to drive people to your website if they want to invest more in your work, I guess.
Right.
And you could make things exclusive on the website too. Like, you can say, like, you know, if you join my email list, it doesn't have to be email list. It could be whatever shape or form you want to word it, but make it exclusive to make people want to go to your website to check out things they could only see in your website. Yeah. That's a good way to split it, I feel. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I feel like I hate Instagram, so
oh, dude,
I don't know.
It'll eat you alive, man. I'll tell you that.
Exactly. So, like, in the long term, for sure, like, if I'm going for a job or anything, I could always just send them my website rather than sending my, like, Instagram. So I guess that's the only way I would want to do it. But I always, like you said, like, the traffic is the main thing, like, getting people to go on there. That's always, like, what I forget. But I mean, I don't know. It's definitely tough, but I need to start that for sure. People have been telling me, like.
You ever thought of starting a YouTube?
I'm not great in front of the camera.
That's a skill, I feel, though.
Like, I don't know.
It's a skill you can learn, unless.
I mean, I've always wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody's always wanted to be a YouTuber, right? But, like, I don't know. I just wouldn't know what to do. I think maybe I might run out of ideas.
I think when people trip over running out of ideas, I feel like, and I've learned this too, I feel like they're stuck on thinking that they always have to create versus what's called document. You know what I mean? Like, say you don't want to do a tutorial video or a street photography video, but say you're going to go shoot with your friends that are going to shoot. Why not ask, like you would with photojournalism, to record that process, right? And maybe it's not directly a photography video, but that's why personal brands work. And if you're cool with that and you're true to yourself and you're cool with putting yourself out there, that's going to give you, I feel like, the upper edge as a photographer, even if you're not the most skilled, like, textbook wise, because people are going to see this personality of yours or this side of your character, of your persona, of your photography that is different from others. Like, oh, he's not just trying to show how cool pictures he has, he's actually a dope person to be with. You know, he showcase, and not only is he a dope person, but he likes to tell other people's stories and showcase people he F's with and share their art too, and it's all one big community. I feel like, shoot, like, I definitely, if you did that, I'd definitely try to get involved and collab in that. I don't know how, but, like, you know, like,
I appreciate it, man. Like, and I commend all the YouTubers out there that do it, and, like, they constantly come out with content. It's crazy, because, like, even in photography, like, you know, whatever it is, like music, like, you could always run into, like, a block. So it's fucking tough, anything creative, you know. So
yeah, it's hard for me to run into a block because I now I'm comfortable with documenting rather than creating. Like these podcasts are a form of,
Yeah.
it might be branded as like, oh, he's creating a podcast. I'm really just talking to people
Right,
that are cool with
exactly.
us
The
having our conversation.
content
Yeah.
builds itself,
Yeah,
basically. Yeah.
like in that, and like, well, yeah, I did have a majority music guest, and people could deem this as a music podcast, but like, you're like the third guest that's not necessarily a musician. But I mean, you could start a photography podcast if you know a lot of photographers. Just get all their opinions out and do what I'm
Hmm.
doing, even though you're not meeting up in person. You could just web or chat with them, and I wouldn't overthink like, because I know we're all artists, right? So we care about aesthetic, we care about presentation, but
Right.
I feel like people that are just regular consumers that want to be inspired or connect with someone, they're more accepting of the raw stuff, I feel. Like, not everything has to be so highly produced. And the documentation is cool because you're showing the process. You could show someone, like, hey guys, I appreciate how much you love this photo, black and white photo I did. This is the process I did to get there. You guys want to see how it looks like before, which is like a big no-no. I know a lot of photographers don't like showing their raws, but like, you know how cool that would be because like, oh wow, this guy's not afraid to put himself out there. I could relate to that. Like, we all got to start from somewhere. That's just an idea,
Hmm.
but like, I would not overthink it. To me, what I like seeing other people do is just post, man. Like, and but you got to know this: if you're not true to yourself, if you're not authentic, and if you don't know, and if you're not aware that once you put yourself out there, you're gonna get judged. Like,
Oh yeah.
I get judged left and right, man. But like, I focus on the few that f with me, and that's how I win.
Hmm.
I don't pay attention to like people that don't f with me, because at the end of the day, they're not gonna buy my merch. They're not gonna buy my prints. Like, why I
Exactly.
should pay attention to the people that invest in me as a person, because I'm of some sort of, whatever I'm doing, it's of some sort of value, whether it's informational, entertaining, or just connecting because I'm just being me on the camera or video or whatever. Like,
Right.
I think that should be the priority, and that's how you can create, I feel, a personal brand where you're not like just in people's faces like, I'm a photographer, buy my shit, book a photo shoot. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to come
I
off
guess.
as that. People are going to be more into you and buy your stuff because they like you as a person, not as a
Hmm.
photographer. So that's like my whole philosophy, I feel like,
Right.
you know. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I could relate to that. Like, I don't really give a shit about the likes on Instagram, the comments, whatever. I just
Yeah,
want to
man.
put it out there so for people to see, like, I care less about that shit. But I definitely agree with like putting yourself out there to get more like exposure and shit like that.
I would start a
For sure.
YouTube channel like today or whenever you can and make literally the first video. Hi, I'm Paolo, Portra Paolo.
I
Like,
used to have one, bro, but like no one's ever gonna find it.
because you're
It was
not
mad
putting it out
embarrassing.
there. You gotta just
No, it
everyone
was a
starts
long time
somewhere.
ago,
My
bro. Yeah, I
YouTube
know.
is my only social media platform where I rarely deleted anything. If you really dig deep on my YouTube, you'll find some shit there from 2010, 11, super cringe, but I leave it to show people how far I've progressed since then. You know, I'm very open with that, and I feel like people could connect with that. So I think if you did that, man, you tell your story, where you're from the valley, you know, this is how you got into
Yeah.
photography, blah blah blah. This, you want to do photojournalism, like, dude, I feel like there's a niche for that. I mean, the world's huge, man. Like, people are gonna
Yeah.
connect. You never know. People, like, recently I was able to connect with this artist from Toronto and this producer from South Africa. I never met
Oh,
these guys. I just
fucking
literally
crazy.
DM'd them. I f with their stuff, and we got an IG call, and now we're working on stuff. So like, the world is huge, man. Like, put yourself out there. You realize how much people can actually relate with you when you do that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think I definitely started noticing that too when I started this like photography my photography page, which is kind of like my main page now. I don't really give a fuck about the personal ones. I don't go on those anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean like just like I'm not a big hashtag guy. I know a lot of people are, but like that's
Mm,
fine. But I put like maybe like three,
that's
and
fine.
like you could still get like a lot of people and I check out their stuff too, and I show love back. Like it's fucking crazy. Like people from wherever, like you said, like random parts of the fucking world. They
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
come from anywhere, like,
Right.
and
Right.
it's crazy.
Yeah, man. And I think like the good thing about that is not only do you connect with people when you go on shoots, but now you're connecting on a social media platform. And I feel like a lot of people blame social media, but at the end of the day, it's a tool, you know? Like,
Right.
Instagram is not evil. The people that are using it to build their ego and expose, they're just being magnified, you know? Because of the
Hmm.
internet, we're more exposed to all these bad things in the world. But I wouldn't blame the tool, you know what I mean? Like, the
No,
platform. Because a
absolutely.
lot of people
Because
do
like
that.
I
It's like, nah, it's just, this is how you always been. If someone's
right.
shitty, you know? Like, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I bash on Instagram all day, but like, I mean, I make my connections to there, so
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
hey,
You get your
you know,
sales there too. You know, you could like
right?
connect with
Exactly,
people across the world there. So it could be used for good. Is my point is saying. You know.
exactly. I agree with you. Like, you can use me for like meeting people for the good, putting your shit out there. Absolutely.
All right, man. Do you want to move to questions? We only got one, but it's a good one. Um,
Sure.
so this is from my friend EU dot Elijah. Shout out to Eli. Um,
Eli.
he's me and Nathan's friend from Bakersfield, and he recently got into film photography. He has a little point and shoot, and he's doing his thing. He said, or he asked, what types of things do you guys look for when taking pictures? I'm gonna let you answer that first, man, because I could go about this in
Mhm.
many different ways.
Right.
Yeah.
First off, when I'm looking at, what was the question? Like, what do you look
What types
for?
of things you guys look for when taking pictures? I don't know if he's saying like, what do you like to shoot? I feel like he's more asking like, if you're gonna take
Yeah.
a photo, what makes you click the shutter versus not click the shutter? Is
Okay.
that kind of what he's
Right.
asking? I feel right. Yeah.
That's how I kind of interpret it. But like, what I look for is like, say, composition,
Mm-hmm.
the lighting.
Yep. Yep.
Composition is giant. It's like it's big in my book. Like,
Yeah.
I
Same,
will
dude.
take forever before I take a photo. Like you, especially on like a 120. Oh my goodness. Like I'll like my friends can tell you like I'll be there like kneeling down on the ground like or some weird angle
You're
for
just
like five
waiting.
minutes
Yeah.
straight up.
It's a
Like
patience
because I'm
game.
also
Yeah.
like I can't see the focus sometimes, so like I'll be there for a minute. Like and if I don't like if there's a tree in the composition, I'm like I gotta redo it. But definitely composition. Let's see. I mean, lighting obviously is
Mm-hmm.
a big thing, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't really pay attention too much to lighting. Like I could always
Adjust for it.
like
Yeah.
compensate
Mm-hmm.
exactly. But I guess that's the basic things I look for, like composition and lighting and the angle. Yeah,
Yeah, dude. For me, composition is number one. Like that's
yeah.
when I got into film photography. It was composition was all I had. My point and shoot was a fixed lens. You know, I mean,
Hmm.
I could choose what kind of like film roll I'm using, but I couldn't really adjust much. You know, and my first roll where I didn't edit any of the photos, they were good. My uncle loved it, and my friend Peter liked it too because the composition was good. And I would add to that not only composition but also the moment because that's what you're doing. You're capturing moments, you know,
Exactly.
and whether it's a smile on someone's face or like something super aesthetic because the way this car lined up. And sometimes I don't even know because like that's the crazy thing about film. I'll think it's an average shot, and when I get it developed, I'm like, holy shit, that like when I was in when I was in Tokyo, right, Shibuya Crossing, one of my favorite shots. This guy looks at me, and I thought it was gonna be a bad shot because he's like, kind of give me that look, like, ah, why are you taking a photo, man? But his face kind of looked blurry because of the motion, right? And then I thought that was cool. But not only that, when he was walking and everyone was walking, everyone was like that, like the perfect stride. And the
Hmm.
lady next to him, her heel was like right in the middle. I just thought it looked super cool. Like little things like
Yeah,
that. Like I didn't wait for
you
her heel to line up. Like it just happened, you know? Like
right. You notice
yeah.
the little things, yeah.
Mm.
Especially after, like, fuck, maybe it didn't turn out how you wanted to, but it came out good. So I love that about film. Like it's literally 36 tries,
Yeah.
24 tries, 12
Yeah.
tries, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So and I think it takes like it's definitely like something everybody should start off on in photography,
Hmm.
just so you get a feel of actual photography. Like
Train
not
your
not to
eye.
bash,
Yeah.
right? Not to bash digital, but like you will always get the instant like the fucking instant photo right there. So you could always see how you're shooting it. And most of the time, like I'm not hating on people, but like I know like people just put that shit on auto
Yeah.
and they just go out and they're a photographer. There you go.
Yeah.
I
Because the
mean,
thing with film is like it teaches you to be a good decision maker. It kind of
right,
teaches you to commit. It's like, hey, if you effed up, that's on you. You know what I mean? You can't go
right,
back. You can't undo. You can't
exactly.
delete this. You know?
And I shoot digital too sometimes. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold my like
Yeah. I'm
I
not
like I
anti-digital. It's just
yeah I
it's
like
more fun
analog. I
film.
like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. If I had the choice, I'd rather shoot film in the studio and
Same.
outside.
Same.
But in certain times, yeah, you have to shoot digital. But
Hmm.
you know,
Would
yeah.
you go deeper in? Or you don't have to go that deep, but like somebody say somebody doesn't know what it means for like what does composition mean? Like, what are some practicals you could do? Like, to train your eye, or is it kind of like who are you inspired by and try to just experiment with different angles and see what? Because a big thing my photographer friend told me is like try to when he was critiquing some of my stuff early on, he was like try to focus on one subject, not necessarily like wait for that person to be the only thing in the shot, but like who is the focus on, where's the focal point? And the whole thing about focal point and the one subject, I learned that I took a design class in 10th grade in high school, and that was big on for a lot of artists and in paintings. It's like in photography, it's like what's
Right.
the main subject, what catches your eye first, try to portray that. So that's how I kind of look at composition. But the thing with break, that's just a rule that could be meant to be broken, because if once I break that rule, sometimes I find creative things too, or it looks shitty.
Right.
But that's the funny thing I always tell when I shoot people. I'm like, yo, bro, this is gonna look shitty. Like ask Nathan, he'll tell you. He's like, whenever I shoot him, like, bro, that was a shitty shot. But that was just me, lightheartedly saying like, watch this come out better than we thought. You know?
Right. I always expect for the worst with film, but I mean,
Yeah.
I think I've shot for a while now, so I'm confident in my shit. Like when it comes out, I'll be like, yeah, it's gonna. I know how it's gonna basically turn out. But going back to your question, what was it like?
What would you say to somebody that's not so like
What
experienced
to look
on
for
composition? Yeah,
in?
what do you look for? What are
Okay.
some like three things, or what are some tips? Yeah.
I think just do what you like, what you please. Like if you think like shooting something off center, like having the subject in the right corner only, then have it be that. Because like working at the photo lab, I see a bunch of different shit. I'm like, why would you take it like this? But then I look at it longer. I'm like, kind of looks good, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's them. That's them.
That's
So
them. Yeah, yeah.
I think I don't know. Like I wouldn't know. Like just go about it how you would see it. I'd say like how you want to see it in a photo. Like
Mm.
you want to see it from this way. You want to see it from that way, and just try to like tell a story about the subject. If there's no
Yeah.
subject, I don't know. Like make it look cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the biggest thing too.
Basically,
I remember
make it
that's
look
a huge
cool. I
debate. It's
don't
like
know.
it's either tell a story or make it aesthetic, or both. You know, like if it's both, that's like the best in my opinion.
Right,
But
exactly.
if you
Or
can't
if
have both, choose one or the other. You know.
right, or make it straight on so they could people can understand. Or maybe you don't want people to understand it. See, like
Yeah.
you can go all day about it. Like
Yeah.
it's just depends who you are.
Hmm.
For me, I'm a huge composition guy too, though. But like,
Same, dude.
I broke my tripod because
Oh
like I
shit.
couldn't. I was like bending it. It was a $5 one. It's fine. Like
That's
I'll buy
hilarious.
another one. But yeah, I was like obsessing over him. Like I need it like right here, and then I snapped the leg. I was like, fuck.
Damn.
No.
That's the gear telling you, not
It's like
today. Get a better
relax.
one.
I know, relax. I'm not like a $1,500 tripod. I'm a
Yeah,
$5
yeah,
one.
yeah.
But it's okay. Rest in peace.
That's good. That's cool though, man. I think the theme in that and the theme in this conversation is like, it's about like risk taking, experimenting, but at the end of the day, having fun. You know, at the end of the
Right.
day, photography is an art, and what's beautiful about art and creating it and putting it out there is that you never know who it connects with, because we're all human and we all connect in all sorts of different ways, whether it's talking to someone on the bus or like taking a photo and showing that to people who have never seen it, whether it's your close friends or people across the world. I think at the end of the day, like, it's all about connection, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Connections and meeting people and just overall, I think living life because I think that's how I like photography. I take it just like this is another time in your life. Take fucking photos and you look back and tomorrow and be like, shit, I wish I was there.
Yeah, it's like a time
It's
capsule in a way.
absolutely like and definitely. I don't know how long you'll be doing photography, but I'll definitely be doing it for a minute, like till I'm dead.
It
So
won't. I'll tell you this. It won't be my main thing because music is my main thing. But
absolutely, I know that for sure.
it
I
complements
know that
each
for sure.
other, and I have written goals that I've wanted to try to get photo shoots with people I've always wanted to get a photo shoot with, not for the clout, but because like they're just dope people. You know, if these guys weren't famous, I probably still want to shoot with them. You know what I
Right.
mean?
So
Because I like
question.
capturing moments. You know? Yeah.
So question, who's like one person you'd want to shoot? You go first. I'll answer mine after.
Oh come on, Travis Scott, shit, like
Travis Scott.
Kanye,
Ooh,
bro,
that's a good
like
one. Kanye.
both are fashion icons, man. I would say at least for streetwear, dude. Like
Yeah.
you know, and I would probably try to go about it not Ray Corrupted Mindish, because I'm not gonna replace that dude. That guy's freaking dope. Like and all
Yeah.
respect to him, I would try to go about it. Like, he's definitely an influence, but once you do this longer, you start finding your own style, right? So I want
Hmm.
to try to see what my how I would see it, my vision, like what under my lens, what would this like person look like? And I get excited all the time for my friends that aren't even famous when I go on shoots with them because it's like, oh shit,
Oh, absolutely.
I made them look doper than they thought they can, and that's them
Yeah.
saying that, not me, which makes me feel happy. Like, oh wow, thanks, dude. Like, I know your angles, bro. Like, I got you. Like,
Right. I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who I'm like photographing or taking pictures of either. But I think my main one would be maybe like not the weekend now, but maybe the weekend like a couple years ago.
oh shit, when he had
Cause
the
I was
crazy hair.
hell yeah, like cause I was definitely like a weekend stan. But like I mean, he's cool now. But like
Yeah,
back then, he was definitely I was more into him and like he was more mysterious, I guess.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He'd definitely be one. Let's see. I'll say like for female, I'd definitely say Marilyn Monroe though, 'cause I
Hmm.
think she was dope. Uh, and Tupac,
Oh shit, dude.
definitely Tupac. Tupac is a vibe. Like being from LA for
Hell
sure.
yeah.
Like and you know, like I mentioned, Shimodu is one of my favorites. So he's shot like so much shit for Pac, like Biggie, like everybody in the game basically. Like so he's
Wow.
definitely inspired me.
You gotta send me his work, man.
Definitely, yeah.
And like
I'll send
speaking
it
of
too.
artists and like I left out the women, but yeah, I also do want to go on shoots with like K-pop idols, bro. That'd be fucking
Oh
tight,
hell yeah,
bro.
that'd be sick.
It's crazy because my sister's friend like from elementary actually shoots with one of them, and I'm like, damn, that's tight. I was able to
Dope.
like, hey man, if you ever need like help with anything, yeah. No,
Yeah,
one day, man,
absolutely.
we'll see, man. One day, like, because not only do I want to work with these guys from a music standpoint, I want to capture them
Yeah.
visually too. So yeah, that'd be dope, man. It doesn't have to be like a model photo shoot. It could just be like us working in the studio in fucking sweats. Like, I think that's a vibe. Like,
Yeah, definitely. And I think I don't know how like you approach your photo shoots either, but like for mine, I want mine to be as candid
hell
as
yeah.
possible. Most of the time, I want them to just be at home or like
I've
just doing
noticed, yeah.
whatever they do, like
In their
whether
element,
like
yeah.
yeah, exactly in their element. I don't know. I need to shoot with you soon, like in your element in that room that on some Portra
Dude,
800.
hell yeah, man! Like, get all these K-pop posters and shit.
Yeah,
Share
dude,
them
we'll
with my
make a
brother.
thing. I'm gonna shoot it on
I
like
need more
a.
studio pics, man. I don't have my own home
You know
studio. I'm
that? Do you
almost,
know
yeah.
the that like photo shoot of Nas back in like
I
the
don't,
project
man.
columns?
You
I don't
gotta
know.
shoot
I
me
feel the
that.
vibe on that one though.
Yeah.
It's
I
by
mean,
Chimoto too, actually.
one of my favorite photos is Kanye on that old synthesizer with the headphones. He's like
Yeah,
still young. He's
sounds
like
sick.
really like making shit. Yeah.
We'll
But
make some shit, man.
let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, thanks again for like being a guest on this podcast. I think we're gonna end it
Definitely,
soon. Do
man.
you
Thank
want
you.
to shout? Do you plug away right now or shout out or
Oh
and then
fuck.
definitely send me links to all these things you're shouting out so I could not only tag it on Instagram but I'll upload the full episode on YouTube. This is over an hour long, and I'll put those links there too. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man. As far as plug myself because that's the only person that has my back. Portra Paolo. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to James Layno, working on
Yeah.
everything. Renaissance man out here. Music, photography,
Man,
clothing,
thank.
whatever you need.
Yeah.
Man's gonna blow up soon.
Oh man, we'll see. We'll see.
Nah, we'll both make it, man, somehow. I
Hell
see.
yeah,
Like, I
man.
don't know. I'd be having, like, I just gotta manifest it?
Yeah, there you go. Put it out there, bro. Hell yeah.
Exactly. But, as far as that, shout out all my homies out there who watch this. Then I'll know you're my homies.
Yeah,
Even if
man.
you're not watching it, it's fine. Like, shout out to you guys. Shout out to my
Yeah,
family. Shout out to
yeah.
God.
Hell
I
yeah,
don't know.
dude. Props to all that. Like, you shared a lot of not only technical tips but some personal stories, which I think is dope, man. I'm sure a lot of people could relate to it. So
No, no.
yeah, thank you again, Paulo, for being a guest on episode 8. This is Layno Pod,
Episode 8.
the LaynoProd podcast featuring Portra Paolo.
All right.